Sneaker community, what's popping? It's your dude, the regular guy sneakerhead, here with another fire review for you. Now, today we're going to do a review on these. You see what it says. Air Jordan 6 Retro. This is a size 11. And I'm pretty sure you can tell from the box that these are the Air Jordan 6 Salesman sample or reverse infrared, whichever one it is you want to call it. And if you've watched any of my videos, then you know I like to get into the background and tell you the story about how this sneaker came about, what made them put this sneaker out the way they did. Uh, Quick side note, this year, 2026, is the 35th anniversary of the Air Jordan 6. So that's why you're going to see a lot of sixes this year and why they put such emphasis on these. The Air Jordan 6 also is the first sneaker that Jordan won a championship in. His very first ring was won while wearing the Air Jordan 6. Now, to touch on this pair, the Salesman sample, okay, the reason why this pair came about is because in 1999, the Air Jordan 6 infrared, before it came out and released, looked just like this pair. In fact, there were East Bay catalogs that featured this exact pair in it, as you can see here, this exact same pair in it, advertising that this is what you would get when you purchase the Air Jordan 6 infrared. Um, However, due to negative feedback, that pair didn't release. It ended up getting scrapped, and then the pair we all know now as the Air Jordan 6 infrared is what came out. Now, these are really not a salesman sample. They're more of like a promo or maybe like a look-see sample. And for those that don't understand that, I'm going to break that down. So, what a salesman sample is, it's a shoe that is made either to be displayed in store for promo or other places like that for promo, for promotion, or like it says, salesman sample. A salesman takes that shoe out to different retailers to show them, hey, this is what we got fixing to come out. Would you like to feature this in our other products in your store for sale? Hence the salesman sample. Now, a promo sample or look-see sample, which is more along the lines of what I feel like this shoe is a sample pair that's made during the production process, either for promotional purposes, build hype, show people, show buyers, and things like that, or as look-see, for them to get a look at it to see how an actual shoe looks in hand instead of just the drawing with the colorway they picked and all that. They want to see how it actually looks whenever you make it. So that's where the look-see sample comes in. It's a pair that they made to take a look at. And a lot of times there might be several look-see samples in different variations, some small, some big, before they finally get down to saying, okay, this is what we want. This is what we're going to put out. A lot of times it don't look nothing like the look-see samples did, but that's just a part of their process. People end up getting a hold of those samples through different variations of ways, and then that's how you see people with them. Typically, look see samples, promo samples, things like that, typically are made in like a size 9, 9.5. That's like the average. So for people that wear smaller or larger shoes, it's kind of hard to find a lot of those samples. Now, PE samples, player exclusive samples, you can find in a lot of different sizes because they're made for athletes usually. But the other samples aren't made for that. They're just made to look at. They weren't made with the intention of ever being actually worn. So that's why they usually stick to that one little size. It's an average size, gives them a good look at it. But that's what they wanted to represent with this release here. They wanted to show love to that pair from 1999 that almost came out but didn't. And also, the reason why we know so much about that pair is because some pairs did get out. There were a few pairs that got out, just not a wide variety. That's why they were like a cult classic back then. They were sought after by true OG collectors because of their rarity. Like a lot of us knew about it. I knew about them before this year and last year when they started talking about the release of these. Uh, some may not, but a lot of us OG heads did. Without further ado, get into the shoe. See the box. And they put it in this plain brown box because they said they wanted it to look like a sample box. So I wanted to show you guys how sample boxes actually look. Now, there are all different samples and all different sample boxes. But I have never myself actually seen a sample that came in just a plain brown box. Most of the time I've seen samples come in either the box that silhouette would normally come in or just a random box. Like in this instance, you see this is what you would normally associate with a Jordan 12 being a Jordan 12 box, right? But a 12 didn't come in these, a Jordan 8 did. And I'll let you see that tag there. That's how a real sample tag looks on a sample box. It tells you, who requested the shoe, who it's going to, size, when it was made, the season, things like that. It identifies all that. That's what a real sample tag looks like on a real sample box. What Jordan Brand has done here, because you see they got the same tag you always get on a pair you buy. What Jordan Brand has done here instead is they put that type of tag on the inside. See, that's their version of the sample tag. And then other than that, it's got the black paper that you see with a lot of sixes, almost like a trash bag type material, plastic material. Then you also got that white paper. And then the shoe. Now, you see this tag here. This is a sample tag. And you see at the bottom of the tag, it says Salesman. And it tells you all those things that would also be on the front of the box, on the tag on the box. All those same things, who requested it, who it's for, size, such and such. But this is not exactly how they would look. They'd be a little different than that. They usually have the factory name in the top and what type of sample it is at the bottom, but they're a tad bit different. I pulled up a few to let you see what they actually look like and how they actually look on a shoe. They do come connected or fastened to the shoe like this with your little plastic zip tie thing, but they look a little bit different as you can see. Now into the shoe, you see where these got the extra infrared on the midsole versus the real infrared. Then it's got the infrared on the Nike Air there instead of it being black like it originally was. Nike Air lace locks, Nike Air on the insoles. Um, QC on these, I picked these up from Hibbett, but I'm gonna be honest, man. You if you know, you know. When they make a lot of pairs, the QC gets sloppy, and this has a few bad spots. I mean, that one right there on the toe box, pretty bad. I mean, there's a lot of little things I could nitpick on, little paint issues and glue issues, but I'm not really gonna sweat it and get all into it. I'm not gonna take them back. I'm gonna keep them. So it is what it is. I do feel like they could have did better, man. For $200 something, they could have did better. You see the other side. Same as that one. They also have in here this right here where it says Jordan property of, and it's blank, and then it says not for resale. A lot of sample pairs do have that in there. It's a little bit different. Instead of it just saying Jordan at the top, it normally says sample and then property of with the space and then not for resale. I'll pull up a pair with it to show you what I'm talking about so you can see the example there of how the stamp would actually look on a real sample pair. And then another thing that differs between these and the actual sample is you see that tag? That's your standard Air Jordan tag on a pair of Jordans you buy from the store. Nothing different, right? This is my Air Jordan Oregon 8 player exclusive, which is also a sample. And it features an actual sample tag. That tag is completely different than the tag that comes inside of pairs that are actually made as a GR, general release, pair for sale. There are some player exclusives or samples that do have regular tags, though. Don't get it twisted. There's a couple Oregon pairs, those 23Ps, they all have regular tags. There are friends and family pairs that have regular tags and don't have sample tags. But a lot of them do. Most of them do. So there you have my review on the Air Jordan 6 infrared Salesman sample, or reverse infrared, whichever one you like to call it. Definitely a dope shoe, a part of history, a part of MJ's history. His first championship was won in a pair of these. So, you know, most collectors love these. These are a coveted pair for most collectors. Let me know in the comments what you think about them. Did you pick them up? Do you love them? Let me know. Let's talk about it. I hope you've enjoyed my review and history and backstory I give you on the pairs. I hope you've hit all the right buttons, but most importantly, I hope you stay tuned and keep coming back.